Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to stand before you today to discuss a topic that is both universal and deeply personal. Why do only 2% of people achieve success while the other 98% don't? The answer isn't simple, but it isn't impossible either. We're going to break it down today, and I hope each of you will leave here empowered with new insights to step into your own greatness. Here are 7 key reasons why 2% succeed and the majority do not. Each reason is a truth we can apply to our own lives to change our path and reach the top. Keynote 1, a clear vision. A clear vision is the foundation of all success. The 2% who reach the top are driven by an unwavering sense of purpose. They know exactly where they are going, and they hold that vision in their minds every single day. Most people, however, live without a clear direction. They drift through life reacting to what happens to them, instead of being proactive in shaping their future. The result: they end up living someone else's dream instead of their own. Vision gives you focus. When you know what you want, the distractions and obstacles along the way lose their power. The 98% get derailed because they haven't clearly defined their goals. They get caught up in the day-to-day grind, working hard but without a clear destination in mind. The 2%, on the other hand, set a vision that pulls them forward, giving them the energy and passion to keep going, no matter how hard things get. Having a vision doesn't mean you have to know exactly how you're going to get there. In fact, you don't need to know all the steps. It's more important to have a strong why. Why do you want to succeed? Why does it matter to you? When the why is clear, the how will reveal itself over time. The 2% understand this and remain deeply connected to their purpose. They are willing to sacrifice, to face challenges, and to keep moving forward because they have something bigger than themselves driving them. Most people struggle with clarity because they are afraid to dream big. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of not being good enough keeps them thinking small. The 2% think differently. They know that in order to achieve great things, they must first see great things. They aren't afraid to dream beyond their current circumstances. They create a mental image of the life they want and move toward it relentlessly. A vision is not just about material success. It's about the impact you want to have, the person you want to become, and the legacy you want to leave. The 2% have a vision that excites them, and that vision becomes their compass. Every decision they make is aligned with it. Every action they take moves them closer to it. They visualize it, believe in it, and ultimately live it. The 98%, they often have vague desires, wishful thinking, or fleeting aspirations, but nothing concrete. Without a clear target, they lack the focus and motivation to achieve anything significant. And so they drift while the 2% soar. Keynote 2, relentless drive. The second reason why the 2% succeed is because of their relentless drive. This isn't just motivation that comes and goes. It's a deep, burning desire that pushes them to keep going no matter the circumstances. Most people are driven by temporary motivation. They're excited when things are new or when success seems close. But the moment the road gets hard, the excitement fades and they slow down or stop altogether. The 2%, however, are driven by something much more powerful, an inner hunger that doesn't depend on external rewards or comfort. Relentless drive is what separates those who merely wish for success from those who actually achieve it. The 98% often want success, but only if it comes easily. They're willing to work hard when it feels good, but the moment the process gets tough, they give up. The 2% know that the journey to success is long, grueling, and filled with obstacles. They don't expect it to be easy. In fact, they embrace the challenges because they understand that every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger, more resilient, and better prepared for the next step. What fuels this relentless drive? It's purpose. The 2% have a purpose so strong that quitting is never an option. They don't just want success for the sake of material gain or recognition. They are driven by a mission, a vision of their future that is non-negotiable. Whether it's providing a better life for their family, making a difference in the world, or proving to themselves that they are capable of more, their purpose is the fire that keeps them moving forward. no matter how many times they fall. Another aspect of relentless drive is consistency. The 98% often work in bursts. They'll go hard for a few weeks or months, but then lose steam. The 2% understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about showing up every single day, whether they feel like it or not. They put in the work day after day, month after month, even when there's no immediate payoff. They trust that their efforts will compound over time, and they keep going when others would have quit long ago. This kind of drive requires discipline. The 2% are not waiting for motivation to strike. They create their own momentum by sticking to their routines, staying committed to their goals, and holding themselves accountable. Discipline is what keeps them moving forward, even when the passion fades temporarily or when life throws unexpected challenges their way. They don't rely on feeling good to keep going. They rely on the habits and systems they've built to stay on track. Ultimately, relentless drive is about perseverance. It's about refusing to let anything stand in the way of your goals. The 2% aren't afraid of hard work. They welcome it. They understand that nothing worthwhile comes easily, and they are willing to endure the pain, the sacrifice, and the struggle because they know the reward is worth it. This is what sets them apart and why they succeed where others fail. Relentless drive is a decision. It's deciding that no matter what happens, no matter how tough the road gets, you will not stop until you reach your destination. It's about believing in yourself and your vision so deeply that nothing can shake your determination. The 2% lie by this, and that's why they reach the top. Keynote 3, Mastering the Mindset. The 2% who succeed have one thing in common that is often overlooked. They have mastered their mindset. Success is not just about hard work or talent, it's about how you think. Your mind can either be your greatest ally or your biggest enemy. The 2% understand this, and they take full control over their thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. The 98%, however, allow their mindset to be shaped by fear, doubt, and negativity, which keeps them from reaching their full potential. The mind is a powerful tool, but most people don't know how to use it effectively. The 98% are often trapped in a cycle of self-limiting beliefs. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed. I'm not smart enough, I don't have the right connections, or I've failed too many times. These thoughts become their reality. The 2%, on the other hand, recognize that their beliefs shape their actions, and their actions shape their results. They choose to adopt empowering beliefs, even when reality hasn't caught up yet. Mastering the mindset means being aware of the thoughts that run through your mind every day. It means questioning your assumptions and challenging the narratives that hold you back. The 2% are constantly feeding their minds with positivity, growth, and possibility. They understand the importance of affirmations, visualization, and self-talk. Instead of focusing on what could go wrong, they focus on what could go right. They see opportunity where others see obstacles because they've trained their minds to look for solutions rather than problems. One of the key aspects of mastering the mindset is overcoming fear. The 98% are often paralyzed by fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. This fear keeps them from taking the risks necessary to move forward. The 2% feel fear too, but they've learned how to manage it. They don't let fear stop them. Instead, they use it as a motivator. They've developed the mental toughness to push through discomfort because they know that fear is a part of growth. They've trained themselves to act in spite of fear rather than waiting for it to go away. Another critical element is resilience. The 2% understand that setbacks and failures are part of the journey. They don't allow temporary defeats to define them or derail their progress. The 98% often give up after encountering obstacles, interpreting them as signs that they're not cut out for success. But the 2% view challenges differently. They see them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every failure is simply feedback, a lesson on how to improve and get closer to their goal. This resilience is a product of their mindset. They've built a mental framework that allows them to bounce back stronger after every setback. The 2% also practice gratitude and maintain a positive attitude, even in the face of adversity. While the 98% may focus on what's wrong, what's missing, or what's unfair. The 2% choose to focus on what's good, what's working, and what's possible. Gratitude shifts their perspective and helps them stay grounded, even when things aren't going their way. This positive mindset doesn't mean they ignore reality, but they refuse to dwell on the negatives. They know that a positive attitude attracts positive outcomes, and they use this to their advantage. Mindset mastery also involves developing an unshakable belief in yourself. The 98% often look for external validation and approval, waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, or worthy of success. The 2% don't wait for permission, they give it to themselves. They believe in their abilities, even when no one else does. This self-confidence isn't arrogance, it's a quiet certainty that they can handle whatever comes their way. They trust themselves to figure things out, and this belief gives them the courage to take bold action. Mindset mastery also involves developing an unshakable belief in yourself. The 98% often look for external validation and approval, waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, or worthy of success. The 2% don't wait for permission, they give it to themselves. They believe in their abilities, even when no one else does. This self-confidence isn't arrogance, it's a quiet certainty that they can handle whatever comes their way. They trust themselves to figure things out, and this belief gives them the courage to take bold action. Mindset mastery also involves developing an unshakable belief in yourself. The 98% often look for external validation and approval, waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, or worthy of success. The 2% don't wait for permission, they give it to themselves. They believe in their abilities, even when no one else does. This self-confidence isn't arrogance, it's a quiet certainty that they can handle whatever comes their way. They trust themselves to figure things out, and this belief gives them the courage to take bold action. Mastering the mindset is a daily practice. The 2% don't leave their mental state to chance. They invest time in personal development, reading books, listening to podcasts, and surrounding themselves with people who uplift and inspire them. They understand that mindset is like a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. The 98% may neglect this inner work, thinking that success is all about external effort, but the 2% know that the real work starts within. The mind is a powerful tool, but most people don't know how to use it effectively. The 98% are often trapped in a cycle of self-limiting beliefs. They tell themselves stories about why they can't succeed. I'm not smart enough, I don't have the right connections, or I've failed too many times. These thoughts become their reality. The 2%, on the other hand, recognize that their beliefs shape their actions, and their actions shape their results. They choose to adopt empowering beliefs, even when reality hasn't caught up yet. Keynote 4, commitment to growth. One of the most defining traits of the 2% who succeed is their unwavering commitment to growth. They understand that success isn't a one-time event, but an ongoing process of becoming better, smarter, and more capable over time. The 98% often plateau because they stop growing. They settle for what they know, what they have, and who they are, while the 2% are constantly seeking ways to expand their skills, knowledge, and mileage. Growth is not automatic. It requires conscious effort and the willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. The 98% tend to stay where they feel safe, avoiding challenges that push them to the next level. But the 2% embrace discomfort because they know that's where growth happens. They deliberately put themselves in situations that stretch them, that force them to learn, adapt, and evolve. They don't fear failure because they see it as part of the learning process. In contrast, the 98% are often afraid to fail, so they stick to what they already know, missing out on the opportunity to grow. This commitment to growth is evident in how the 2% approach learning. They are lifelong learners, always looking for ways to expand their knowledge and sharpen their skills. They read books, attend seminars, seek out mentors, and surround themselves with people who challenge them to think bigger. The 98%, however, often stop learning once they've completed formal education. They believe that once they've reached a certain level, they know enough to get by. But the 2% understand that the world is constantly changing, and if they're not learning, they're falling behind. The 2% are also willing to invest in their personal and professional development. They don't view education or coaching as an expense, but as an investment in their future. They know that every dollar they spend on improving themselves will pay off many times over in the long run. The 98%, on the other hand, often see growth opportunities as unnecessary or too costly. They may hesitate to spend money on a course or workshop or a mentor because they don't see the immediate return. But the 2% know that success requires long-term thinking, and they are willing to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. Another key aspect of the 2%'s commitment to growth is their ability to take feedback. Most people shy away from criticism because it can be uncomfortable or feel like a personal attack. But the 2% actively seek feedback because they know it's a critical part of their development. They don't take it personally. Instead, they use it as a tool to improve. Whether it's constructive criticism from a boss, a coach, or even their own self-assessment, they welcome it as a chance to identify blind spots and areas for improvement. The 98%, on the other hand, often avoid feedback, seeing it as a threat to their ego rather than an opportunity for growth. The 2% are also highly adaptable. In today's fast-paced world, the ability to grow often means the ability to change. The 2% are flexible and open to new ideas, new ways of thinking, and new approaches to solving problems. They don't cling to old habits or outdated methods simply because that's how things have always been done. They understand that in order to stay ahead, they must be willing to evolve. The 98%, however, often resist change. They prefer to stick to what's familiar, even if it's no longer effective, because change feels risky or uncomfortable. The 2% also understand that growth is not just about accumulating knowledge or skills, it's about becoming a better version of themselves. This means growing not just professionally, but personally. They work on their emotional intelligence, their communication skills, their relationships, and their health. They know that true success is holistic, and they are committed to growing in all areas of life. The 98% may focus on growth in one area like their career, but neglect other important aspects like their personal well-being or relationships. The 2% strive for balance, understanding that success in one area enhances success in others. Self-awareness is another cornerstone of the 2%'s growth mindset. They take the time to reflect on their strengths and weaknesses, to understand their own patterns of behavior, and to evaluate their progress. This self-awareness allows them to make conscious choices about how they need to grow and what areas they need to focus on. The 98%, however, often go through life without this level of introspection. They may be unaware of their limiting beliefs or habits that are holding them back. And because they don't take the time to reflect, they miss the opportunity to make meaningful changes. The 2% also understand that growth is not just about accumulating knowledge or skills, it's about becoming a better version of themselves. This means growing not just professionally, but personally. They work on their emotional intelligence, their communication skills, their relationships, and their health. They know that true success is holistic, and they are committed to growing in all areas of life. The 98% may focus on growth in one area, like their career, but neglect other important aspects like their personal well-being or relationships. The 2% strive for balance, understanding that success in one area enhances success in others. Finally, the 2% embrace the idea of growth as a lifelong journey. They never feel like they've arrived or that they know everything they need to know. Even when they reach a high level of success, they keep pushing for more, not out of greed, but out of a desire to fulfill their potential. They see life as a continuous process of learning, growing, and becoming the best version of themselves. The 98%, however, often reach a point where they stop striving for more, content with mediocrity, or believing they've reached their peak. The 2% know that as long as they are alive, there is always room for growth. In conclusion, commitment to growth is what propels the 2% forward, while the lack of it keeps the 98% stuck. Growth requires discomfort, dedication, and a willingness to keep evolving. It's a choice, and the 2% make that choice every single day.